Today I'm in a rainy autumn morning here in Istanbul. It's all rainy. That's why I started early today because it's all rainy, so I don't have many choices of a nice cafe. So I'm just doing this stream from Starbucks today. So here, this is Starbucks is in Istanbul, having a venti americano with bitter chocolate. And yeah, and as I said before, the culture here in Turkey is really like silence. Like Turkish people love quiet so much. So if I did, and this is the first time I'm doing my live stream indoors, yeah. So I really got to like talk relatively softly. So let me know if you guys can't hear me, okay? So yeah, today we started way earlier than usual. So I just really just woke up, you know. See, my hair still like the wake up mood. And coffee here is Starbucks here in Istanbul is so cheap. So I know I started way earlier than before because I didn't have a lot of choices of where to go. I came straight to Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks looks exactly the same anywhere. It's a two-story Starbucks building. And yeah, I'll talk more when more people arrives out, or when we get more viewers. I'll share with you guys some of the reason why Starbucks is so popular here in Istanbul. It's not because like it's some kind of luxury or high class brand. You know, I know in New York and in some countries like even Korea, walking around with a Starbucks. But here in Istanbul, it's completely the other way around. Starbucks here in Istanbul is not a luxury brand. It's actually a cheap neighborhood brand. The pricing is cheap neighborhood coffee pricing. Every other, you know, this is episode 15, right? So I brought you guys to 14 different cafes before this, right? And all 14 are more expensive than Starbucks. And here Starbucks are having the bitter chocolate with Americano. A huge venti with Americano. Well, we got first message. Hello, good evening, Dale. 11:15 p.m. here in Arizona. It's just cool as Starbucks in Turkey. Oh yeah, it's Starbucks everywhere and it's cheap. Starbucks in Turkey is like it's not a luxury brand like it is in US. It's really more like a neighborhood, everyday coffee kind of positioning. And this is a beautiful rainy Monday morning here in Istanbul. Autumn morning. And welcome to my live stream. If this is the first time you're on my stream, which I think I've never seen your name before, I bring you guys to a different cafe here in Istanbul every morning for a 1 hour chat. And this is the first time in 15 days that I'm streaming indoors, because actually in Turkey it's really like you don't talk too loudly indoors, so it's really hard for me to stream indoors. But since it's all rainy outside, it's really hard for me to find a better place than cozy Starbucks. And I do have quite a lot of viewers from Arizona. Interestingly, how do you guys like in Arizona know so much about me? Or have you been like telling, is it like a friends thing, friends tell their friends and stuff? Oh, you, To Yu Zheng, welcome to my live stream. Is this the first time you're on my live stream? To Yu Zheng, did you try their Chai Peng store in Turkey? Did you try? Of course. Uh, Yu Zheng, you should refer to my video. I made a video of what is a real typical Turkish food like. In that video, I showed that Chai Peng store. So yeah, check that out. And it sounds like you have been here to Turkey, yeah? Louis, hi Louis, hi Limpeh, hi Louis. Today it's a very rainy autumn morning, Monday morning here in Istanbul. I couldn't go to couldn't stream outside like I used to every morning. So today I'm in Starbucks Nishantasi, Istanbul. Having venti Americano and bitter chocolate, bitter cioccolata. While you're here, help me click the like button. Yu Zheng, sure, I'll check that out. Yeah, I miss Turkey, it's a cool place. Oh yes. And I must say, Istanbul, I've lived in so many countries in the world over the past 20 years. Istanbul is my favorite city so far, Hanan. After 20 years of living in 6 countries and how many cities I can't even count, Istanbul is my favorite so far, overall. Louis, is it monsoon season in Turkey? It's autumn. And autumn and winter tends to be very rainy here in Turkey. So it rains a lot. Like it rains like once a week average in October. And then it starts to rain like every other day in December. And then in January it starts to snow. Yeah. So for those of you who just joined my live stream, today is a very rainy autumn morning here in Istanbul. And I'm here in Starbucks because I usually stream outdoors, but today it's all rainy, so I have to do an indoors thing here today. And usually indoors tend to be very quiet in Turkey, so I cannot speak very loudly. Yeah. So welcome Atomic. You Hamam is shook. I love Antalya. Can't wait to see you travel in Turkey. I don't travel. You know, a lot of people misunderstand my channel and my stream. I'm not a travel vlogger. I don't travel. I've been here in Istanbul for a year. Okay, so answering Atomic's question, how long are you in Istanbul for? I've been here for almost a year. and I've not been outside of Istanbul. In fact, I've not been to the Hagia Sophia. I've not been to the Asia side. I've always only been here in the Europe side, in Besiktas and Nishantasi area. I'm not a traveler. I don't travel. I live life. Yeah, I find somewhere nice in the world and I just dig down and I live life. You know, when I was in Paris, I didn't even visit the Eiffel Tower nor the Mona Lisa either. I didn't even get within like 5 kilometers of the Eiffel Tower, I think. I saw the Eiffel Tower as this small. That was the biggest I've ever seen of the Eiffel Tower. So I am that kind of a traveler. I'm not a traveler. I live life. Oh. Atomic, wow, does it feel safe there? Yes, it feels 100% safe because here in Istanbul, in this part of Istanbul, this is the Europe part of Istanbul. It's basically Europe here. Of course, East Europe, like not all of Europe is safe, but I say Istanbul makes me feel safer than when I was in Paris. In Paris, I felt like always someone is looking over my shoulder, waiting to like rob me or pickpocket me when I'm least aware. And then in Paris, even kids will run up to you and steal your stuff and things like that. But none of that bullshit here in Istanbul. Such a safe and contented country. That's why I say that after living in 6 countries and so many different cities, Istanbul is my overall favorite place to live in. Sammy Leo, what is your favorite food in Turkey? My favorite food in Turkey is mantu. That's what I eat the most here. And Sammy, you can, for what is mantu and how I eat it, please refer to my video on my channel called Overseas Singaporeans' Favorite Food in Turkey. I made a whole video about my favorite food in Turkey. So check out that video. Here I am in Starbucks, Istanbul. You know, Starbucks in many countries. Let me take a bite. Yeah. Ever since I stopped my professional fighter training, I'm back in intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back in intermittent fasting, and I'm not even a deliberate thing, but because ever since I stopped training like 12 hours, I find that I just naturally reduce the amount I eat, just naturally reduces, and then I still do not have to eat as many meals as before, and naturally it becomes this. And before this live stream, I don't even do this chocolate in the morning. I do just only lunch. But for the sake of this live stream, and it's weird to just drink coffee outside here without something to munch on, so I started doing this chocolate and coffee thing, which is very common here in Istanbul. Now, the interesting thing about Starbucks in Istanbul, but here in Istanbul, Starbucks is a name. Because a venti Americano like this, the biggest Americano here in Starbucks, costs only $1.90 US. $1.90 US. And how much is $1.90 US? If you guys have been following my live stream every morning, over the past 14 days, I brought you guys all to different cafes, right? And all of them are more expensive than this. All. Starbucks is the cheapest coffee I can get in this area of Istanbul. Can you believe it? Good morning, Yasmin. And that terrace over there? See that terrace over there? That terrace over there was back house, where I actually streamed for you guys last week with the cats and the heater, remember? It was that terrace over there. So you see, this is my favorite neighborhood park in Istanbul, and just around this park there's 5 cafes already, and if you walk down that side a little bit more, there's another 5. It's kind of 10 cafes within 1 minute of each other, and all of them are more expensive than this. In fact, right now, really, today is episode 15, right? The 15th day that I've been streaming for you guys. This is the cheapest so far. This venti Americano with this chocolate here, with this bitter chocolate, okay, cost me only 25 lira. Yesterday, the coffee with the baklava cost me 80 lira. in Backhouse over there, when I streamed for you guys last week on the terrace, with 2 coffees and 2 cookies, that was like 60 over lira as well. So Starbucks is extremely cheap here in Istanbul. Yeah, it's really a cheap neighborhood brand. Starbucks is the cheapest coffee I can find in Istanbul. In this part of Istanbul. Morning, Yasmin. Thank you for checking in again. Atomic 190 is probably a coffee in 7-Eleven in the US. Yes, exactly. Or in New York, you can get a morning pour for just $1. Yeah, but that kind of standard of a coffee. Atomic, do you see Asians in Istanbul? A lot. In this area, Istanbul, I see a lot of Chinese and Koreans. In fact, in the beginning of the year, I started seeing a lot of Chinese, and then lately, I've been seeing a lot of Koreans. So a lot of Asians, and also a lot of Asians a lot of people who look Asian but are not Asians. Siberian Mongolians, Russian Asians, Eastern Russians, they all look like this, but they're not really Asian. To Yu Zheng, Karakoy, Baklava looks like a great place to have. Oh, it's too far, I don't go that far. Yu Zheng, you still don't get it. I'm not a travel blogger. My daily coffee chat is for the purpose of finding somewhere to have coffee just to chat about life and not to show sites. Of course, over the past 2 days, I actually show you guys a lot of sites because it was actually weekends. On the weekends, I have more time, but weekdays, I'm kind of busy. So it's just chit chat, Pretty much, I go within 10 minutes of where I live, and then on the weekend, I walk up to an hour from where I live. I really don't travel. I really don't have I'm not interested. I'm not curious anymore about this and that nice places in the world. Yeah. After you have been traveling for 20 years like I do, nothing appeals to you anymore. That's where I am right now, You know that when I went to Barcelona, I spent a year in Madrid and Barcelona. When I was in Barcelona, I didn't even bother to visit the Sagrada Familia. That church, the very famous Gaudi church, Sagrada Familia. I never went. That's the kind of traveler I am. Atomic, wow, interesting. Atomic, where is your next destination? Most likely after my 1-year visa here in Turkey, I might go back to New York. I live in New York, by the way. So, then I don't know how long I'll stay in New York, maybe a couple of years, and then take it from there. I usually move country around 4 years-ish in each country or city. I usually move city or country every 4 years to 5 years. Yeah. So far over the past 20 years, I've not lived in a single city for longer than 5 years. 5 years was so like yeah. So for those of you who just joined my live stream, this is a very rainy autumn Monday morning here in Istanbul. That's the cafe I streamed for you guys from last week, and yeah, I usually prefer to stream outside, but because it's all raining, so this is the first time I'm Yasmin, do you drink Turkish coffee? Yeah, if you refer to the episode where I actually took you guys to a park and then drink coffee with a cat in my lap. I think that was like episode last Wednesday or Thursday. In that cafe I had Turkish coffee. Yeah. Now they're fixing up stuff here, that's why it's kind of noisy. Atomic, I thought someone was heckling you. No. Yeah, they're fixing the light, so they're doing like turn it on, turn it off. Not to me, the light. Go. Wow, Starbucks today. How is it compared to cafe? Oh, good morning, Go. Yes. Starbucks here in Turkey is really not a luxury brand. Like even in US, Starbucks is luxury coffee, but not here in Istanbul. Istanbul, Starbucks is cheap coffee. Starbucks, this is the cheapest. You know, I brought you guys to 14 different cafes over the past 14 days, right? This is the cheapest. This today with the ultra big size coffee, which is equal to two normal cups of Americano in all the other cafes that I brought you guys, and with chocolate, only 25 lira. Venti Americano for only $1.90 US dollars. This is cheap coffee here. Every cafe that I brought you guys to so far over the past 15 days have been more expensive than this. Yesterday, 2 days ago in the park, that was 80 lira with the baklava. Yesterday was 60 lira. This is 25 lira. This is cheap. Starbucks is very cheap thing here. Atomic. I remember Starbucks being considered somewhat luxury coffee when in Istanbul maybe. I don't know how was it, but when it first came out, even right now in US, even in New York, in Manhattan, I still see people walk down the street with a Starbucks in their hand like it's some branded thing, you know. I still see that. Yeah. Starbucks is still branded somewhat in US, in China as well. I see in Korea as well. I still see people in Korea carrying Starbucks down the street like it's like it's a branded handbag or something. Stanley, coffee with the peacock is the most expensive. No, that wasn't the most expensive. Coffee with the peacock came up to about 70 lira. The most expensive so far was in the park with the baklava last Saturday. Saturday was the most expensive, 80 lira. That was the most expensive. The baklava and 2 coffee at Taksim Square, that was the most expensive. 80 lira is about 10 US dollars. And 10 US dollars is considered, is the price of 3 meals here in Istanbul, average. So it's actually very expensive. But of course, as you can see, actually it's all very cheap here in Istanbul. Even 80 lira. 80 lira is very expensive for our locals, but still very cheap for parasites like us. I call us parasites, coming up the price. And this is a rainy Monday morning here in Istanbul. Rainy autumn morning. In October, it tends to rain like once a week here in Istanbul. And then slowly increases. It starts to rain every other day in December, and then snow in January. That's how the weather pattern here is like. Atomic, what's the hardest thing to find that you wish you could eat in Istanbul? Oh, a Korean food. Korean like doenjang, even ramyeon. They simply don't sell instant noodles here in the grocery shops and in the supermarkets, like at all. Maybe just very lousy instant noodles. None of the Korean ones. It's hard to find any Korean food items, and there are Korean restaurants of course, but it's hard to find Korean food items and all that stuff. So I find it very hard to make my own food, but I still managed to find a Korean wholesaler here, so I buy from him. But I have to buy a lot every time. So right now I have like a year's worth of doenjang in my fridge, you know. Yeah. Wife, logical love letter, not messaging. Love letter every day. I take photos for her. Yeah. And she's very busy as well. She works every day. Even if we are together in the same city, she's busy all day long. I'm busy all day long. We probably meet each other like a couple of hours a day, like a few minutes in the morning and then a couple of hours in the evening only. My wife's very busy. She has a lot of things going on in New York. Right. It's very rare to see a Chow Chow dog here in Istanbul. In fact, that Chow Chow is the only Chow Chow I see in Istanbul. I rarely see Chow Chow. The most common dog I see in Istanbul are number 1, Golden Retrievers / Labradors, and number 2, Jack Russells. Yes, interestingly, Jack Russells. Number 3, Pit Bulls. Yes, Pit Bulls are so gentle here in Istanbul. Atomic, your wife is amazing. Yeah, she's ultra amazing. Ultra amazing. She's got her life so sorted out. Yeah. Financially, emotionally, she's got her own home business and her own job, and she enjoys making money. So she's making my wife makes more money than me. Okay, for those of you who seems to think that my wife is some like weak and trying to go my me, yeah. No, my wife honestly and literally makes more every month than I do. Okay, she makes in the mid five figures a month. Okay, so my wife is far richer than me. Good morning, B. Welcome back to my live stream. For B, this is a very rainy Istanbul Monday morning. And therefore, for the first time, because it's raining outside, I cannot find a good cafe to stream outside. So I'm bringing you guys indoors for the first time here in Starbucks Istanbul. Boom. And Starbucks Istanbul is the cheapest coffee you can find in this area, Istanbul. Cheapest. This whole set here, ultra sized venti americano with chocolate, cost me only 25 lira. Only 25. This is super cheap. 25, and this venti americano alone is only $1.90 US dollars, or $2.20 or $2.30 Singapore dollars, or 250 Singapore dollars. Very cheap. While you guys are here, remember, help me click the like button. Help me a lot. Lily Ramsey, good morning. Good morning, Lily Ramsey. Welcome back to my live stream. Nice to see you guys here every day. Even when I surprisingly and started the stream much earlier. I started this stream 30 minutes earlier than usual because it's raining and I didn't have a lot of choice, so I just came to Starbucks. B, raining here in Singapore too. Oh, Singapore should be monsoon season. Atomic, show us the... Oh, Atomic, I've been showing you guys the expensive coffees over the past 14 days. So if you can go to my channel, go to the tab called playlist, and then look for the playlist called live streams, and then you will see every single day for the past 14 days I've been bringing you guys to the expensive places. Yeah, even royalty places. I brought you guys into a palace for breakfast before 2 weeks ago as well. So yeah, so since this is the first time, welcome, right? Hope you have a lot more discoveries as we go forward. But understand, Atomic, that my stream is not a travel. I'm not a travel vlogger. This is not a travel stream. I'm not here to introduce the sights and sounds of Istanbul, even though I do on weekends when I have more time. This is really a coffee chat between me and all my friends, very regular friends like B, Elijah, and we talk about life. My channel is about life, but everything I've experienced over the past 20 years of living overseas, the stuff about life that I realized along the way, that's what this coffee chat is really about. Like Little Winter Cottage, welcome to Turkey. Oh, teşekkür ederim. You're in Turkey, right? If not, you won't say welcome to Turkey. Teşekkür ederim, günaydın. Nasılsınız? Benim İstanbul çok seviyorum. Çok seviyorum. İstanbul, Türkiye, İstanbul ne? Dünya en güzel city. Little Winter Cottage. İyiyim. Siz nasılsınız? Ben de iyiyim. Teşekkür ederim. Little Winter Cottage. Sehil. B, I thought your wife works as a nurse. Yeah, she works as a nurse and also runs a home business as well. Oh, nurse makes 5 figures in US. Nurse, I suspect, makes more than doctors because of the lack of nurse, you know. US is so lack of nurses, but not lack of doctors, you know. My wife literally makes 1,000 per hour as a nurse in New York. 1,000 per hour, not per day, not per week, 1,000 per hour as a nurse. This is why a lot of Koreans they take up nursing just to go to US. A lot. It's a growing trend right now. In fact, I know a Korean guy in New York who is a nurse, and I asked him, why do you take up nursing? Because I think like nursing is not the first thing I think of as a guy. Right? A little bit biased here, of course. And you know what he said? He said, just to come to America, I took up nursing. That's what he said. Honestly. Little Winter Cottage. Your Turkish accent is very good. Thank you. Teşekkür ederim, sağ ol. Atomic, sign me up. Oh, okay, great. And welcome Atomic to my live stream. Do remember to subscribe and hit the notification button because I don't know what time I start every morning. I start when I wake up and I start when I find a good cafe. So so make sure you're notified, yeah? Wow. Yes. Wow. 1,000 per hour. Crazy. Go. What kind of nurse is she? Oncology nurse? Oncology. Honestly, I don't really know what oncology is. My dyslexic child could try to be a nurse too. Yes, I think nursing is a very noble profession and one that the world desperately requires right now. Everywhere in the world, people need more nurses, especially right now with the pandemic. Countries are coming to a realization that nurses is more important than doctors in a pandemic like this because people need more care in a pandemic like this. If you check out my very earlier videos, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago videos, me and my wife did a lot of videos together. But right now, because I really want to protect her from harassment, and since we're apart so often, I want to protect her privacy. So honestly, I may expose her hands from time to time when we stream together, but because she's gonna come to Istanbul next month, so we're gonna spend Christmas together here in Istanbul, but I'm not likely to show her fully. Not likely. I have to protect her. Atomic. Were you guys worried about her working as a nurse during the beginning of the? Oh yes, I was worried sick at the beginning of the COVID. At the beginning of COVID, I was training in Japan. I was in Japan training as a samurai, and the moment I got adopted as samurai, I was actually supposed to continue my training to earn my third and fifth dan, but I actually cut short. I left everything behind in Japan. I left behind my room and all my luggages and everything. I left behind everything in Japan and I went straight back to New York when COVID began last April or so. And when I went back to New York, immediately I was hit by the lockdown. So I was in New York for like 6-7 months straight. I was worried sick. But after a while, I came to know a lot more. This is the fat Istanbul street dog. Very famous. This street dog hangs out in this area here, in this park. Every street dog has their own area. They rarely cross each other's area. So I was really worried. But as I know more about COVID and how actually, as young, healthy people, there's nothing much to worry about. I stopped worrying. Yeah. Tressa Will, good morning Tressa, thank you and welcome to my live stream. Studying is a torture to her. Oh yeah, studying was a torture to me as well, honestly. Kim Teo, good morning Kim Teo, welcome back to my live stream. I took half a day off today to try to get ready notes to prepare her exam. Oh, you do a lot as a mom. Back then when I was young, my mom cared nothing about my exams and stuff. We have to take care of our own stuff. We are solely responsible to study. My mom never asked me never gave me any pressure to study for exam. My mom only cared for one thing. What's the result? She only look at the result. Whatever I do, she don't care. She only look at the result. Kim Teo, I'm waiting to hear your near-death experience. Actually, Kim, I shared a bit of my near-death experience in my video yesterday. Did you check out my video yesterday? Titled how to know if you have lived in vain. That was my video yesterday and I shared a bit of my near-death experience. Yes. in-depth video. So check that out. Yeah. Stanley, seems after the pandemic, a lot of people go into investment. What do you think? What do you mean by investment? What? See, the thing is, common folks like to use this term too loosely. Yeah, investment. You got to be very specific with me. When you talk about investment, what exactly are you talking about? As a professional, I don't understand that term. Amateurs use that term too loosely and too irresponsibly. As an investment professional, I don't understand what you mean by investments at all. You gotta be more specific. What are people doing? B, but your wife is in dangerous job. Yeah, my wife. You guys heard of the famous Jacobi Hospital last year, right? Last year, Jacobi Hospital of New York became super famous because it was the most serious COVID site in the whole of America. And my wife was working there, right in the front lines of Jacobi Hospital. Amazing, right? She's oncology is related to dealing with cancer patients. Oh, I see. Little Winter Cottage. We call someone wife as Yenga in Turkey. Oh, Yenga. Interesting. Atomic. Do you watch Squid Game and your thoughts? I don't watch Squid Games. I don't watch anything that's just the hype. I watch things that I like. And I don't like Squid Games because it doesn't have any of my favorite A-list artists. I go for my favorite artists only. That's why I like Jiri-san because I like Chun Ji-hyun. But Squid Games don't have any of my favorite artists. So no matter what everybody says, no matter what the media hype, I don't care. I don't care about hypes. I'm that boring a person. MC, oh good morning MC. I call MC morning coffee. MC now you're called morning coffee. You're at Raffles Place service office watching. Oh, welcome. One Raffles Place. What's the difference between one Raffles Place and Raffles Place? I don't know. I thought that says Raffles Place. Stanley, like stocks or stock and forex investment. Oh, okay. Everybody's so yeah. Oh, see the thing is, stock and forex is as far apart as saying that someone likes a dog or buy a dog or a cat. You know, is that different? So you should never talk about stocks and forex in the same statement ever. That is very amateurish. As an investment professional, stocks and forex are as far apart as Earth and Mars. Okay, and should never be considered in the same context or same sentence at all. But if you ask me if this is a good time for investment, any time is a good time for investment. Anytime. It's not just pandemic time. It's whether or not the only difference is, do you know what you're doing? Are you trained and are you educated in this whole thing? That's all. The thing is, I see the sad thing in this world today is you live in a financial world but you know nothing about finance. In fact, most people don't even know what money is. To them, money is kind of cash money. No. Money is an idea that's very deep. That's why I think, finance should be a compulsory subject in every secondary school right now or middle school. You cannot live in a financial world with no idea what finance is and how it works. Yeah. And this is exactly what I see, an entire generation of people who grew up struggling against this idea of finance and trying to grow up in a finance world with no idea what finance is about. This is very sad. Instead, you learn useless nonsense like physics, chemistry, shit like that doesn't apply in everyday life. What's the point? Honestly, I will if I'm an educator, I will replace chemistry with finance in every secondary and middle school. MC, Squid Game waste time. MC, money come. Oh, okay, that's a good one. MC, one Raffles Place is the Grade A building beside Raffles Place. Oh, I see. I don't know. Raffles Place MRT. Wow. I need to remember Raffles Place MRT as the moment you come out, there's this shopping center, right? I don't know. Can't remember. B, Squid Game. Rich people and poor people equally unhappy. Being middle is best. I don't know. I don't know what Squid Game is about. Like I said, I didn't watch it. I didn't even watch the trailer. I wasn't even curious enough to find out what it's all about. Yeah.
Atomic, middle class is disappearing. Oh yes, it's disappearing definitely. Everywhere in the world, it is disappearing. Because middle class is an idea cooked up by economists as what I call the sucker class. It is middle class is the class that governments suck on to play their GDP game. Without a strong middle class, you cannot play the GDP game. But like oil in the ground, middle class is limited as well. You suck them enough, they'll go away. Your cease to exist. That's what's happening all over the world today. MC, I'm no investor. I'm a professional gamer. Yeah, MC is a professional trader, and yes, there is a big difference between a trader and an investor. And coming to the realization that you are more of a gambler than an investor makes you a good trader. Yes, I can respect that. You're very professional if you can say that as a trader. I'm not a trader or an investor. I'm a strategist actually. If you understand the world of finance, you know what strategists do. I'm a strategist actually. I'm a derivative strategist. Louis, I wish I could pick the subject I like in secondary school. I thought you can. I used to be able to pick the subjects I want in secondary school. MC, morning coffee. Education teach you to be the obedient class. If everyone is a successful trader, no one wants to work. No. Working is still very appealing. Working is still a good thing. Okay, I don't think that if everyone knows how to trade, they will stop working. I don't think so because working gives you a lot of things that you don't get as a professional trader. It working gives you access to loans and credit that you don't get as a professional trader. Working gives you a community to belong to, which you don't get as a trader. Working gives you a social structure and a social support system that you won't get as an independent trader like myself. Working gives you a chance to express what you're passionate about and give value to the world while getting paid for it. Honestly, traders like you and me, MC, you and me, traders and investors, what do we give to the world? Honestly, what do we give? Nothing. Nothing. We give no real value to the world. That's why I work very hard to do this live stream and to really give to the world the only thing that trading and this lifestyle have given me, which is my experience and realizations about life all over the world. And this is the only thing I think that being a professional trader has given me that other people did not have, that I can share with people, you know. And hence why I start my channel and why this live stream. B, can introduce a good book for my children to read about finance. I don't know books. Like I said, I don't read finance books. B, the only advice I always give to children is this. Children meaning kids that are still dependent on their parents and are not of working age, okay? For people like that, probably below 18 years of age, I always say this. Apart from studying, apart from trading, apart from studying, what's the most meaningful thing you can do in your life? What else can you do? You can't work, you can't create things for the world, you can't travel the world like I do. What else can you do at that age but study? So if there's nothing else you can do but study, so jolly well just do it right and do it good. That's my advice to all young people below working age. MC, yes, options play strategies. Yeah, that's why I'm an options strategist. I'm not really a trader or investor, so I'm not actually a gambler either. Atomic, thoughts about Zuckerberg's mentor. I don't even know what mentor is. This is literally the second time I've seen this verse. I don't follow the news. I don't follow what's in the hypes. I don't follow current affairs or anything. Okay, I live in the real world only, not in the story world given by the media. So I don't know what's happening in the media at all. I don't surf the internet. I don't listen to news. I don't look at what other people say on their social media either. Yeah. So that's why you see I'm happy, because I live in the reality world, not the stories that have been told in the media. To know the difference and the very deep impact between living in the story world and the real world, please refer to my playlist called Story World, where I go into very detail about the deep impact and implications of living in the story world and the real world affects your life so much. Louis, no, I can't. In secondary, no, when I was in secondary school, I don't know, in sec 2 or something, I was given the chance to choose so-called stream where I can choose between certain subjects. I can choose to do arts, I can choose to do science. There was a lot of choice. Maybe it changed, I don't know. Atomic, Zuckerberg's Meta, are we in trouble? I don't know what's Meta. You guys have to tell me. What the hell is Meta? Sophia, good morning Sophia. And for those of you who, oh hold on, there's still a lot of message to clear before I show you guys more. Stanley, for those who do not have knowledge and trade, what is your opinion? My opinion is very simple. Buy a index fund long term. Okay, you guys, oh shit. I cannot even say this without going into a long story and education about what index fund is, how index work, how funds work and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna say anything now. You need to polish up and learn. Handing your money to someone else to manage is the stupidest thing in the world, except when that person is me. I do manage client accounts, but I only manage for 500,000 and above accounts. Okay. MC, there are prop shops now to make up for community loss. What's prop shops? I don't know what prop shops are. Atomic, Twitter is not a real place. I've not used Twitter. I can't even remember ever using. I never actually used Twitter. B, now there is a variety of subjects kids needs to take in secondary school, no longer just science stream. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know what's the education system in Singapore right now. Shish. Zuckerberg is the owner of Facebook. Yes, that much I know. And after recent controversy, what controversy? I don't know what controversy. He decided to renames Facebook as Meta. Just so you know. What's the meaning? What's the purpose of renaming something from Facebook to Meta? Isn't it still the same thing? A rose by any other name would still be a rose. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even care. I'm not even going to find out. And for those who just joined my stream, this is a more beautiful autumn morning. It's a rainy autumn morning here in Istanbul. That shelter over there, that terrace over there, was where I streamed for you guys last week. Back house. And this is my favorite park here in Istanbul. And down that side here is another cafe that I streamed for you guys 2 weeks ago. So just around this park alone, we have like 5 to 10 cafes, you know. It's amazing how many cafes here in Istanbul. And today, because it's raining outside, I usually stream outside because I have to talk loudly. So today, because it's raining outside, I'm doing this stream indoors for the first time. So I'm speaking very softly. In Starbucks, Istanbul. The cheapest coffee in this area of Istanbul. Yes, this is not premium coffee here in this part of Istanbul. This is cheap coffee here in this part of Istanbul. Oh, I've been doing this live stream for 15 days, right? Wow, 15 days, half a month, every single day. And today is the cheapest coffee in 15 days. Shish. I'm just waiting for snow in Turkey. I want to see Limpeh making snowman. Oh yeah, in January. In January, if I'm still here, 100% you guys will see snow. I do have a video. Shish. Search on my channel for the video called Snow in January in Istanbul. You can see me play in the snow in that video. That was January of this year. I came last year, December, so I did catch the snow. B, I'm just letting this play, doing some work for my youngest math paper tomorrow. Have fun. Oh, have fun. YouTube. B, good luck for the exams. Even though luck have very little to do with it, unless you're spotting questions. For those of you who don't know, how cheap Starbucks here is in Istanbul. This venti Americano, the biggest Americano, is only $1.90 US dollars or $2.30 Singapore dollars. So cheap. This is the cheapest coffee in this part of Istanbul, really. Atomic, do you ever venture outside of the... No, I don't. Yeah. But in yesterday's live stream, I brought you guys across the Bosphorus from European side into the Asia side. So yes, in yesterday's live stream, we did go to the Asia side, but that is the furthest I've ever been in about 1 year here. I'm very lazy. Unless I have a real reason to go somewhere, I don't. Yeah. Shish shish. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna watch that video with your handsome face in snow, this live stream. Oh, you'll be surprised because I look very different in that video. Very different hairstyle, and fatter. That was before my professional MMA training started. After training started, I slimmed down tremendously. Atomic, don't you miss living in Singapore? Oh, I left Singapore 20 years ago. I don't miss anything about Singapore anymore. I'm way past that stage. You do miss, like, in the first 5 years away, from time to time, I do miss Singapore food and the familiarity of Singapore. But after 5 or 6 years, that stopped, because another thing is Singapore has changed tremendously over the past 20 years. An entire new generation of leaders and an entire new generation of people that didn't exist when I was there rose up and literally... It's a different place to me right now. I don't even talk the same, I don't even look the same anymore. To me, Singapore is more like just another foreign country. So these days I don't even talk about going back to Singapore. I say going to Singapore. To me, it's just going to Singapore. If I go, it's going to, not going back to. I don't feel the homeliness in Singapore. I don't even have anywhere to stay in Singapore. You know? In fact, I don't think it's just me. Anyone who have left your hometown for long enough, that's how it ends up. Every single American came from Europe, and after a few decades in America, Europe stops feeling like home, right? Yeah, it's the same thing. Right now, I'm culturally so different from Singapore that, to me, I don't click. Like, I don't click with that country anymore in my heart. It's very hard to me. I have to learn its culture. I have to learn its ways. If I go to Singapore, I have to learn everything all over again. The language, the culture, the beliefs, the jokes even. Go. What about our parents, if it's okay to share? Oh, my mom lives with my brother, but we have lost contact for so long. Yeah. In fact, when I first left Singapore, for the first 6 years in China, they didn't even know I was in China. They probably think I'm somewhere fooling around, because even before I left Singapore, I left home a long time ago. And after that, I joined the Navy and I was rarely ever in Singapore. Away from Singapore for easily 30 years. Yeah. MC. Yes, now I'm back. But once you reach my age, 40 plus 50 years old, parents become not a concern anymore, honestly. It becomes the last thing, becomes a very small thing in your life. MC, right now, I'm back in Singapore. When I walk at Raffles Places now, I realize a lot of OLs are plainly dressed, unlike Hong Kong. Unlike Hong Kong, unlike even Beijing. MC, well, yes, my accent is still Singaporean, but honestly, it just sounds Singaporean. But when I compare the way I speak English with the way when I listen to some of the Singaporean YouTube channels, I sound very different actually. I sound very, very different than those Singaporean YouTubers that I watch. So I don't even think this is true blue Singapore accent anymore, Yeah. Do you guys think this is Singapore accent? Because when I compare the way I speak with those that I hear on other Singaporean YouTube channels, it's actually very different. Kisia, good morning. I totally understand about not being able to connect with Singaporeans for 13 years. A couple of decades, you know what I mean. You know, a big part of connecting is things like the jokes they say, the kind of TV programs that they talk about, the kind of current issues that they are concerned about. You know, I'm not concerned about any of the current issues in Singapore. I don't even know who are the ministers anymore. I don't even know who's the president of Singapore right now. Honestly, I don't really care. It affects my life nothing. I don't know what jokes they make, what programs they watch. I don't know. Honestly, that's why it's a shame for me when people ask me where are you from. I typically don't say Singapore because I don't know anything about Singapore right now. I typically say Korea because I know much more about the current affairs of Korea than Singapore. Korea is right now okay. First of all, it's my family. My family's Korean, and second, it's the country that I stayed in the longest before Turkey. So I'm very Koreanified. Yeah? MC can still tell. Yes, yeah, from the accent, yes, definitely, but it's kind of different, yeah. Shish, can we see a pic of you in the name? Shish, I made a video. Do you see everything you ask I've covered in my videos. Go to my video that says how much I have aged over the past 25 years. You will see me in Navy uniform in that video. How much I have aged in 25 years. That's the name of that video. Look at that video, you will see me in Navy uniform. MC, yeah. Last time we called them Abing, now we call them YP. What the hell is YP? Oh, please, okay. Stop. I stick to Abing Alien. Don't tell me the new things. You know, I'm an old school Singaporean. MC, I just learned the YP term this week on TikTok. I don't want to learn. Please, no. Kisha, I don't speak Singlish nor Australian accented, just that I don't have the I don't have the lines. Yeah, actually right now it's very unnatural for me to add law and all that stuff. In fact, sometimes when I deliberately try to click with Singaporeans by adding those stuff, I have to think harder to make up a sentence that contains law and all that stuff than to cook up a sentence in Japanese or Korean, honestly. MC, young punks. Oh, I don't know. Young punks are different from Abings. Young punks are not Abings. They're getting the concept wrong. Young punks are punks. Punks are not Bings. You know, during my time, when we say Bing, it just mean one thing. You're a secret society member. If you're not a triad mafia secret society member, don't call yourself Bing. Young punks are punks. They're not secret societies. Shish, that's because I found you like 2 months ago. Oh, that video was 2 weeks ago, shish. That video was my anti-aging video 2 weeks ago. Called How Much I Aged in Over the Past 25 Years. Dang, I caught you. You have not been following. It's okay, just go check out the video. Kisha, whoever has formative years in Singapore will have that accent. Yeah. Oh, but I met Singaporeans in New York who speaks 100% American. Yeah. So even that can change. It's not 100%. For me, I'm too old school to change. But I met a lot of young Singaporeans in New York who they all speak American right now. You can't tell a trace of Singlishness in their accent at all. And yeah, Atomic, if you're still around, this is what my channel is about, chatting about life and experiences. Yeah.
This is Starbucks here in Nishantasi, Istanbul. It's a two-story Starbucks, but I like this seat because it's right in front of the window here, so I can show you guys the sights in the park as well. This is my favorite park in Istanbul. Favorite neighborhood park, full of life. You see that terrace over there? I streamed from this terrace last week. Back house. MC, yes, I studied in Australia during uni days, but my accent didn't change too. Maybe now more Honglish. MC, did I know you back 20 years ago? 25 years ago? I think 23 years ago?
I knew a trader who studied in Australia and very abeng like yourself back 23, 25 years ago when I first started out in the options industry. I wonder if that was you because that was the day before social media, before smartphones. Keisha, Singaporeans are reserved in their thinking, too much pride. I don't know. I don't know what Singaporeans are like right now, honestly. If they're prideful or not, I really don't know. Are they still reserved in their thinking? I'm not sure. Not been in touch for decades. That level of being not in touch, like not in touch, not in touch. Yeah. Oh. I'm not proud of it. It's just to me, it's very natural. I just live like my life, keep going forward. Oh yeah, I've been to India. I've been to India a lot before. Actually, it's easier to say where I've not been to. No, I've been to places where nobody have ever been to either. I've even been to Papua New Guinea. I've been to Solomon Islands. I've been to the Fijis. I've been to places nobody wants to go to. Yeah, I've been to India, the south part of India. I've been to Tamil Nadu. I've been to Bangladesh, but of course Bangladesh is not India. I've been to Cochin, Kolkata area, the southern part of India, basically. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. I was there almost 30 years ago. It was a very different place back then. MC, no lah. I started in 2006. Hong Kong University back then was 26. Okay. Messing with the Hong Kong Warriors. Oh yeah. Those times. I see. So yeah, not. But you really sounded like him. Are you Singaporean by birth or Hong Konger by birth, MC? Very interesting. I like to find out more about you guys as well. This lazy Monday morning. Yes, this is how Monday morning start for a trader. Of course, only because I'm not in America. If I'm in America right now, I'll be busy as hell. B, the talk about being Singaporean and Singlish in Singaporean accent. Limpeh, you still 100% Singapore accent. Of course, I hope it's not insult. Of course, it's not insult. I'm not ashamed of my accent, by the way. If I'm ashamed of my accent, I would have so-called worked on it a long time ago. No, I'm not. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of my culture, okay? I'm not ashamed of being Singaporean. Please, I think some of you are getting the wrong idea that I'm ashamed of being Singaporean. That's why, I act and behave Korean no. I just lost it along the way naturally after being away from Singapore, actually about 30 years. And I picked up all the cultures along the way that worked for me better and served my life better and became what I am today. It was not a deliberate attempt to change into anything. It was a natural process of life for me. I'm not ashamed of any of my cultures. I am very proud of all my cultures, okay? I'm very proud of Singapore as well. Because if Singapore has not had such a good branding in the world today, quite honestly, overseas Singaporeans like myself would not have been able to live as well as we do. Even in China, especially when I was in China, the relationship and branding of Singapore was so important in China. That being Singaporean, you get access to opportunities that some other foreigners would not. Yeah. MC, Singapore by birth and Hong Kong by marriage. Oh, okay. I'm Singapore by birth and Korean by marriage. B. No, not at all. I saw your video of how you respected LKY so much, and you kind of have a set up shrine in Seoul. Yes, I have a shrine at my home everywhere in the world. I still have a shrine for Lee Kuan Yew in my home in New York. Yes, I have a home in New York. So yeah, I have very little things here in Istanbul, but I have a lot of things in New York. What? Everywhere I live in, I set up a shrine for Lee Kuan Yew. I don't do it here. I didn't do it here in Istanbul only because I didn't expect to be here for this long. I didn't even expect to be here in Istanbul, if you guys know my whole story. This whole 1 year in Istanbul has been completely accidental. So that's why I'm not prepared. I didn't bring any of my stuff. I only bring 7 pieces of clothing. I have to buy one more piece here, and 1 pair of shoes and 7 underwears. That's all I brought here to Istanbul. because I didn't expect to be here. Kisha, yes, we do miss the laksa, nasi lemak. Just that the mindset is changed when you have integrated with other culture. Yeah, exactly. I still miss. I can't say I miss Singapore food though, because I have repeated action. Because actually in Seoul, there was a Singapore chicken rice restaurant just 5 minutes from my place, and I've only been there once or twice. Yeah, for so many years, I only eaten the chicken rice twice when it's just 5 minutes in front of my place. I can't say I miss Singapore food anymore. I've grown to adapt to every kind of food. But yeah, I get what you mean. Go. Do Turkish females not wear the hijab as much? Got chilbu behind. Yeah. Turkish females here are more European style than Muslim style. And very few wears the hijab. Very few. They still do, but very few do. See, this is what the modern Turkish young people are very westernized. Very. They all speak English, and they all dress English, and they all think American style. The young people in Turkey right these days. Very westernized. B, not surely all human beings, right? Oh? What was that? I cannot connect. Not surely all human beings, right? Not sure what you're referring to. So yeah, this is how typically Turkish females, young ladies look like these days in Istanbul. Western style. Here, even Iranians are chill as well. They are mistaken from Arab. Wow, a lot of people even think Turkey is somewhere in the Middle East. So yeah, a lot of people still think Turkish people are Arabians. So B, I respond to Kisha. Oh, shish. I wonder what's the meaning of your name. Limpeh? Nobody knows my real name. I never use my real name on social media. Okay, but Limpeh, see, it means I'm your father. But literally, it means I'm your father. But it's a way in Singapore to as a very arrogant way of referring to yourself. Limpeh is so rich. Limpeh is the greatest in the world. It's something Donald Trump would say if he knows English. And to me, it's very Singlish, and it connects me to my Singaporean roots. That's why I use it for my. That's why my opening is very very meaningful. I use Limpeh to connect Limpeh C. It connects me with my Singaporean roots. Singapore Namjai Mida. The whole sentence within a very Korean sentence connects me with my current culture and family. Yeah, that's how my introduction came about. Limpeh C, Singapore Namjai Mida. Because I think this sentence expresses best in one sentence who I am. Rather than asking me where I'm from, you will never know what I'm about by asking me where I'm from. But if you understand Limpeh C, Singapore Namjai Mida, immediately you know everything about me and my culture, my beliefs. A very interesting chit chat today. Actually, I enjoyed today more than the past 2 days, because the past 2 days I feel like a tour guide. Very tiring. After yesterday, I was so worn out. I slept 11 hours, and for the rest of the day, I couldn't do anything because I was so worn out playing tour guide during. I prefer to just sit here, drink coffee, and I was so worn out. Different. The way they see things from different lenses. Iranians and Arabians. It's just surprising that a lot of people still think Turkey is somewhere in the Middle East, and that Turkish people are Arabians, and that there's terrorism everywhere. It's surprising how little people know about Turkey, honestly. That Turkey is actually Europe. Turkey is part of the European Union, okay? And Turkey has 4 seasons. It's not a Middle East country in the middle of a desert. Very interesting very good chit chat. I feel very relaxed doing today's episode. Maybe I should do indoors more often. There's a lot of very lovely indoor cafes here, you know. But I haven't really done indoors. See the rain. Quite looking. Of course, you get because Turkish culture is a because for so many centuries and thousands of years, very deep. Of course, you have very different, many different kind of ethnicity. Of course, one of the major empires in the old world, comprising of almost every ethnic race in the world. There are people who look like me who are Turkish, and the way they talk, behave, act, the way they move are 100% Turkish. Yeah. So yeah, if there's no other questions, no other discussion. Yeah, yes, Russians look Asian too. Yeah. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow on my next morning coffee chat. Thank you guys once again for joining me today, and have a very great week ahead. It's a new week, nice Monday. Have a great week ahead. Annyeong.